Hi everyone, I'm Josh, and I'm here to refute the proposition that the federal minimum wage should be raised to $10 an hour. What we're saying is that it shouldn't. The proponent's first claim is that the cost of living should increase while the minimum wage, the cost of the living wage has increased while the minimum wage has not. Yes, that's true, but they also mentioned something about the living wage in New York or something like that, being around $13 an hour. Am I right? However, not every part of the country is as rich as New York. If you come up to me and you tell me that people in Idaho should require just as much wage to live as people in New York, I would tell you that I'm wrong, and I'm pretty sure that all of you would say that that's wrong as well. Therefore, raising the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, to $10 an hour is not a viable option because those people who are living, say, in Idaho or with like a low living wage would be better off than those people who are living in New York, who are still struggling because $10 is less than the $13 that the affirmative said that they need to make a minimum wage. So therefore, the need of the proposition is still not fulfilled, and the need of the proposition is still not fulfilled. Although it does fulfill some of the needs of some of the people in the country, it does not benefit everyone, and it does not cover everyone who needs the federal their minimum wage to be raised to $10 an hour. Their second claim is that the minimum wage also fails to provide an adequate standard of living. Again, I bring up the fact of the variable living wage and the fact that not everyone needs $10 an hour to basically sustain themselves. A disadvantage of raising the minimum wage to $10 an hour is the fact of wage push inflation. And basically what wage push inflation is that, quote, it's basically an inflationary spiral that occurs when wages are increased and businesses must, in order to pay the higher wages, charge more for their products and services. So basically what I just said is, if you raise your wages, then the price of everything will go up, which will cause businesses to raise their wages again just to provide a minimum wage. Basically, we don't want that to happen because the value of the U.S. dollar will go down once we raise the minimum wage higher. The value of our products will become higher, and the value of the dollar goes down. The affirmative also stated something about raising the minimum wage will benefit companies. I don't see the logic in that. Sure, it might be good for large companies with a lot of profits and a lot of space to actually give their employees more money. But what about the small companies? What about the small and medium-sized companies that don't really have much more to offer? They'll either have to cut the number of jobs that they have, or they'll have to cut the number of jobs, or they're going to have to raise the price of their products or their services, which again leads to wage push inflation. Let's see. So again, to go over what I just said, the proposition doesn't meet all the needs of the people in, it doesn't meet the needs of all the people in the country, which is why we instead push for state minimum wage to be raised or lowered depending on what the inflation is in that individual state. And two, wage push inflation will be dramatically increased if we raise the wage by 33% over the next 2 years. Thanks.